Steve Chewin, MMA Mania.
Okay, Steve, you are on the line with Neiman Gracie. Go ahead.
All right, Neiman, it's a pleasure to talk to you again today, sir. How are you feeling right now?
Hey, brother. Great talking to you. Feeling great, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited about this fight. World title match you've got coming up, Madison Square Garden on June 14th. I know I've said many of your matches are the biggest of your career, but I think this one really does top them all.
Oh, yes, for sure.
It's not even the finals and you're fighting for the world title, so you could win and then have to defend it in the finals.
Yes. But that's great, man.
So this match has been long in the making since the beginning of this tournament. Did you envision that this possibility would occur, that you'd be facing Rory in the semifinals? Is this the way you saw it going?
Yes, definitely. Especially when they made the brackets, I kind of knew he would be I kind of expected him to be my second fight, not taking anything away from Fitch, which is a really tough guy, but I expected to be fighting Rory.
Seemed like after the Fitch versus MacDonald fight, you were kind of giving Fitch that respect, like, I thought you won it, but it's an honor to be facing Rory. So, do you still feel that way? Do you think G.O.A.T actually won that fight?
Yes. To tell the truth, I saw the fight again, so I'm not really sure if it was a draw or maybe Fitch won, But it was a really tough fight, and I expected it to be a tough fight. So that's what we saw,
We also saw something very curious with Rory immediately after that fight was over when he said, "I don't have the heart to hurt people anymore." Are you concerned when you hear that from somebody who's going to step in the cage and might very well get hurt?
Yes and no, it's hard to, because fighting, what I think fighting is like if you think about it, is a crazy thing to do, to lock yourself in a cage with another human being and fight each other. But, and in another point, if you don't want to hurt people, you shouldn't be there, But I think he still wants to hurt people, at least he tried to hurt Fitch, so that's what I saw,
Well, if he doesn't have that heart, he's going to have a very hard time getting through you or to the finals, so he better be ready.
Oh, yeah, he better be ready. It's going to be a tough night for him if he's not 100% on it, But I believe he is. I believe I'm fighting one of the best welterweights of all time, so I train really hard for this fight, and I'm ready to fight one of the best of all time,
It should be an excellent match, and you two are very well matched up size-wise as well, but it's very close in terms of size and skill.
Yes, definitely.
So when you think about Rory's overall game and you look back at that last fight he had in the tournament, what do you think is the number one way for you to win this fight?
Of course, the best way for me to win this fight is to take it to the ground, I believe that on the ground I'm a step ahead of everyone else. So, of course, I believe the best way for me to win this is to take him down and work my ground game.
If anything we learned from that last fight could play to your advantage, then we saw John Fitch take Rory down. So, obviously,
yes.
Rory's takedown defense is not insurmountable. You can get to him.
Yeah, I believe so, too. So, I hope it happens.
What about fighting at Madison Square Garden? I know you've got a lot of friends and family there in New York, so this must be extra special for you.
Oh, definitely. Not only fighting there, but fighting there for the title. So it's definitely going to be a special night for me. I've been living here in New York for about 12 years already. And I pass by Madison Square Garden every day to go to my gym, So now I'm passing by Madison Square Garden and I see my picture up there. So it's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's got to be
awesome.
An overwhelming feeling knowing I went from going by this place every day to headlining this place on Friday.
Yes, it's amazing,
When you look back then, because like I said, you've had so many big fights over the years, but when you look at all the medals you've won in jiu-jitsu and all the tournaments you've been involved in and all the fights you've had up to this point, what do you think about when you think this is a great accomplishment, but I've had so many other great accomplishments? What do you compare it to the most?
Oh, definitely. This tops it all. Definitely, especially when I win it. When I win, this will be definitely a highlight of my career.
So let's play out the chess match of mixed martial arts game and talk about, the different possibilities on the ground, because there's so many ways you could submit somebody in jiu-jitsu, but there's also so many defenses for it as well. So do you think there's any
Yeah,
specific way that is going to be best?
I think will be maybe a rear naked choke or a flying armbar. I don't know, one of the two.
Flying armbar would be quite impressive. We don't see that happen very often.
If it happens, I hope they give me a bonus.
I think we need a performance bonus in Bellator. I've mentioned that to Scott Coker before.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, UFC gives bonuses for exciting finishes. Maybe Bellator should do that as well.
Well, if they do it, I might pull that off.
All right, I'd love to see that. With the fact that Rory has been around for so long, and as you said, he's a legend in the sport, does it enter into your thinking at all going into this fight? Like, it's not just the title. There's another title here. There's the title of greatest welterweight. Do you feel like you're taking that title from him as well if you win?
I think so. In my opinion, Rory is one of the best welterweights of all time. Maybe he's a top 5 in there, So definitely, man, beating him will be big for me.
And then, of course, if you win that fight and you get the title, you also have to face the former champion, Douglas Lima, in the finals. So he is a quite accomplished welterweight, a top 5 guy in his own right.
Definitely. Another very, very tough guy and one of the best welterweights also, But when I got into this tournament, I didn't expect anything less than fighting the best. So for me to win this, I'm going to have to beat all of them and prove that I am one of the best also.
Now, when you look beyond this tournament and all the names that have already entered into this welterweight Grand Prix, and it's coming down to the finals here very soon, what's going to be next after the tournament is over? Let's say you emerge from it the champion. Who's going to be out there to challenge you now that everybody's already been in this tournament?
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's going to be a hard job for Mr. Scott Cooker and Rich Shu, They're going to have to find someone, but I'm pretty sure they're going to find someone because there's always someone ready to fight. So maybe Fitch, I don't know. They're going to find someone,
Well, actually, that is an interesting idea. Since Fitch didn't technically lose, he would sort of be like the number 1 contender, I suppose.
I think so, too. Maybe he's a good name, but let's not think so much ahead. I still have 2 tough lions to kill, so let's take a time.
That's true. There's a lot ahead yet. And how are you handling
a lot.
Yes. How are you handling the media obligations, like the interviews today and all the focus? Is it taking you away from your training at all?
No, not at all. I try to leave the media to a time that I have trained already and I'm resting. So it's something that I'm used to already. So it doesn't bother me anymore, And most of you guys are great guys. So it's not something that bothers me.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try to be a great guy, but obviously I'm not as great.
You are.
Well, I'll take that compliment. But anyway, I do think it's phenomenal when fighters are able to handle all of that and still train and perform at the highest level that you do. So to me, it's like I'm nothing compared to what you have to juggle on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if something will get in the way of my training, I wouldn't do it, So maybe if I had to train or give a big interview, I'll definitely go to train. So it's not something that will take me away from training. So I will never stop training to give an interview. It's not something that I would like to do,
Well, you've got your priorities right then, because you've got to be as well prepared as you possibly can be. And I also wonder,
Definitely.
with, like you said, you've been in New York for 12 years now, and it's at Madison Square Garden, so I'm sure you've got friends coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, Neiman, can you hook us up with tickets?
Yeah, man, so many people, it's crazy. So what I tell them is to look to my manager, try to talk to Ali, and figure out him. But Ali knows how to deal with them much better than I do. I'm a cool guy, and if I have tickets, I would give to anyone. So I just leave that with Ali, and he takes care of it.
Well, that's good. That
I'm
leaves you
glad I don't have the tickets on my hand, you know?
right. Yeah, that would just make it even worse. So it's also good that
Yeah.
keeps people from bothering you too much when you're trying to get ready. So that helps as well. And what about like being on camera this much? Because I'm sure you've had lots of cameras around you for a lot of your fights, but this has got to be the most ever, given how historic this fight is going to be.
Yeah, definitely, you know, but it's like I said before, I'm kind of used to it already. This is my 10th fight. And I think that being in Gracie, since my first fight, people are already, the media was already on top of me. So it's something that I'm used to. And to tell the truth, it doesn't bother me.
Very true. You've had it since day one. I won't argue that. So with
Yeah.
this card, they had originally not known who the welterweight world title match was going to be. So they started out by promoting Lyoto Machida versus Chael Sonnen at the Garden. Now, obviously, that fight has moved to the co-main event, but what are your thoughts on that fight and sharing the spotlight with them?
Man, it's awesome. It's another dream come true to share the spotlight with these guys, you know. They are legends of the sport. They are two guys that I watch growing up, you know, and it's going to be amazing, man. And I think it's going to be a super tough fight. It's kind of like my fight, you know. One guy trying to go to take the fight to the floor and the other guy trying to keep standing. So it's gonna be a super tough fight. And to tell the truth, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Although I had a chance to speak to Lyoto Machida a few days ago, and he believes that if the fight plays out the way he thinks, it could set him up to face Ryan Bader for the light heavyweight title.
Oh yeah, I think he beat Bader before, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, so they should definitely put them to fight, and they should put him also to fight Musashi. So it's gonna be interesting watching his future, you know.
That is the great thing about Bellator right now. There are a lot of interesting fights that can be made, but not the least of which is you versus Douglas Lima if it all goes to plan on June 14th.
True. It's also gonna be a great fight, you know. Another striker versus grappler fight. So it's gonna be great, man. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, and I look forward so much to seeing you and Rory get in the cage and do what you both do best. But Neiman, as I always do, I want to give you this time to thank your teammates and sponsors and plug anything that you would like.
Yeah, so I would like to thank everybody that cheered for me, that likes to see me win, and everybody that likes to see jiu-jitsu in MMA, you know. I'm here to representing my family, but most important, I'm representing jiu-jitsu. So thank you so much to everybody that is behind me on this, you know.
Thank you to all of you for listening to this interview as well. It's always a pleasure to talk with Neiman Gracie, and you're going to want to see his fight on June 14th at Madison Square Garden, exclusively on DAZN. Neiman, thank you so much, and have a great fight with Rory.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and I see you guys June 14th.
You bet. Mucho obrigado. And Dan, thank you as well.